little bit later, but today we're going to be watching musical daredevil speedrun Morrowind. We're looking forward to that, and as always, please donate. Money's going towards a good cause, and we're looking for a good run here.
Hello everyone, and thank you Jedi Amanda for that introduction there. Yes, I am Musical Daredevil, and this is The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Some of you may be familiar with The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. This is 2 games and about 210 years of Tamrielic lore before that game. This is a very dense run where essentially what we do is we get to the end of the game, get the 2 items we need to beat the game, then veer off, do all of the plot stuff as required by the route rules, then come back and defeat the final boss. Now, I am actually here all by myself. You might see there's kind of a lack of a couch behind me except for Shaq. Also, my headset fell off. Wonderful. Hi, Shaq. And hello back there in the audience. Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear it. So, normally I would have a co-commentator with me, but based on the way things worked out, I'm basically by myself. I don't really like to do that because commentating and doing a run of this is really, really difficult. But hopefully I'll be able to put on a good show for you all, and at the very least I won't be overestimate or not too much overestimate. Now, we did have a character bid war, so Jedi Man, would you like to tell us who won that bid war?
Yes, it looks like you'll be naming your character Dear PB.
Dear PB. I also see that it's written on the whiteboard in the back. Shout out to whiteboards, by the way. Alright, this is Giab, by the way. We will not be seeing Giab for the rest of this game, but if any of you happen to play the, the Dragonborn DLC for Skyrim, you see Giab in that one. Giab's got his own adventures. We haven't started time just yet. I will let you know when that happens.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. And right off the bat, we have what is probably the hardest strat in the entire run. That's getting around that guard, and I got it. Yeah. Saves about a second to a second and a half. We also have another skip here, hatch skip. Did not get that one. You can skip that dialogue box I got. Now we have character generation. For my race, I will be picking the race of Redguard. The reason why is Redguard gets an ability known as Adrenaline Rush, which we will need for a jump fairly early on in the run.
Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Then we're going to head in here for the rest of character generation. We do need to pick a custom class for all main quests. The reason why is because we need to be a certain level in order to get to a certain quest in the main quest. We do that by selecting certain skills that allow us to level up to get there, using some training a bit later on. This is a D&D based game. This is sort of the D&D based block, and that's how you level up. You level up your skills.
And what would that be?
For the birth sign, I will pick the steed because that makes your character go slightly faster, which is great for speedrunning.
Make sure this information is correct.
Now we have a bit of an AI exploit. See, there is a platter off to the side here that I'm just going to pick up and then drop on the ground. And the game is going to try and take it from me, but because it's on the ground and I don't have it, it can't do that, so I can pick it up again and then sell it for some gold in a little bit. Here in a barrel is a ring. I'm going to pick that up for a little bit later. Then I'm going to give my papers to Celis Gravius, and we can be on our way. Going to give that ring to Fargoth because I got better buying and selling prices with Aril, who is right in here. At Aril's, I'm going to sell the platter I got for some gold, buy a lockpick, 2 teleportation scrolls, and a scroll of unlocking. There are several different kinds of teleportation in Morrowind. There's teleportation that teleports you to the nearest temple, which I just bought. You can also go to the nearest fort, as well as marking a spot and recalling there later. And the game has just crashed. That happens a lot, actually. I had it happen several times during my practice runs before. I think I might have a save not too far away. Goodness, do I have a save? Yes, I do. Okay, good. We're going to be saying hi to Fargoth and Aril again. Let's see. I have Adrenaline Rush active. Okay, good. Oh, that's third person. You'll be seeing third person later. Where are you, Fargoth? There you are. Alright, we're going to say hi to Aril again. Because Todd Howard decided that we will be saying hi to Aril again. Thank you, Todd Howard. Alright, now we're going to head outside of town. And because of that game crash, I can actually explain where we're going. See, there is a mage named Tarheel who probably plays for North Carolina. And Tar Heel has invented some scrolls that allow you to jump really high and really far. The problem is Tar Heel doesn't quite know how to use those scrolls correctly, so he's going to fall to his death. The good news is we know how to use those scrolls correctly because we are speedrunners, and so we will be using them in a little bit. For now, we are in the town of Balmora, and I'm going to buy a couple potions here, Mark and Recall, as well as Levitation. Morrowind is one of few games that actually allows you to teleport. Now I'm going to quick save here in case the game crashes again. Writing my scrolls, and then jump to the end of the game. I did not crash into the temple, which is great. Yes, I am jumping to the end of the game. Morrowind is an open world game, where you can just jump to the end of the game and pick up the items you need right at the end there. Hopefully I make this jump. Good. You have just enough to make that jump if you use all your scrolls. Gonna pick up, this is the first item you need to beat the game, that is Keening. Gonna mark there we go. Then potion. And now I'm going to head across to the second dungeon with the second item you need to beat the game, and that is the Hammer Sunder. My stats are not nearly high enough. I'm looking for around 3,000. The closer I can get to that, the better. That should be good. Went through the door. That happens when you have 3,000 speed in this game. Come on. Yeah, physics get a bit wonky when you have 2,800 speed in this game. Alright, there's the Hammer Sunder. Gonna drop Keening on the ground and grind up my Endurance and Luck stats. There we go. Pick that up, I'm going to quick save again, and now I'm actually going to exit the game. And what I'm doing in the background, and you might see this, is I'm transferring my save over from version 1.0 to Game of the Year Edition. Actually, that's not what I did. Hold on. Let's see. I do have a quick save copy. So I copied them backwards, but that's alright. I have a quick save just in case I did that. So I can just load that up. Come on, Morrowind. Okay. Let's see. Do I have... Yeah, it's the old quick save. Let's see. There's a quick save backup, I believe. This is what happens when you try and commentate and run this game at the same time. Anyway, alright, my skills look good. So I can teleport out of here. Gonna quick save. Let's see. That was the wrong button. Anyway, now I'm heading to the town of Caldera, and we're going to meet up with everyone's favorite merchant, Creeper. First, I'm going to steal some armor out of a crate. When you have this much speed, you can get out of bounds easily, and no one can see you out of bounds, so no one noticed I stole that armor. Sold that to Creeper for some gold. Going to say hi to this other merchant, who is known as Vreek Jermaine. I am going to sell off some of the armor I stole, as well as that halberd, buy an amulet of teleportation, as well as some arrows. Arrows are very useful throughout this entire speedrun, as you will see shortly. Now we will head back to the town of Balmora. You may recognize this as the temple where we jump to the end of the game. Gonna buy a couple spells down here. Intervention 2 temples.
I'm waiting.
Going to buy a marking spell, as well as a spell that allows you to increase stats. The reason why is I'm now making a custom spell. This spell has 3 parts to it. The first part is any NPC I cast it near goes faster. The second thing it does is it makes NPCs like me more. Let's see, did I add that effect? Yes. And the third effect is I then set a spell with magnitude 0 and area 0. That actually glitches the spell, so the spell is permanent. Normally it's very difficult to make permanent spells, but I just made one. Gonna teleport out of the temple because that's faster, and now we're gonna head to the town of Seyda-Neen.
We make a
Mark the Strider first.
Same low price.
And the reason why is because there is a fetch quest item right outside of Seyda-Neen that we need to get, so we're gonna get it now.
Why, what?
Back to Balmora. Now we are going to talk to Caius Cosades. Caius is the main quest giver for most of the first part of the main quest. And Caius is going to send us on a quest to get some information from an NPC. But before we can get that information, the NPC wants us to fetch an item. This is a Bethesda game, after all. Lots of fetch quests in this one. The item is in this dungeon right outside of town, so we can just go grab that. In that room. Now we can turn that item in to the NPC who is looking for it. and he's going to tell us about something called the Sixth House, which I will explain in a little bit. Now I'm going to do some training with Caius. That sets up the level up I mentioned a bit earlier. Yep, one more. There we go. Now I've got a bit of a rave, because I just trained a whole bunch, and the game is supposed to fade in and fade out, and so it's doing that in the background. Gonna buy a couple items there. There we go. Then gonna talk to this NPC. This NPC wanted the skull we got outside of Saint Denis. We got that. Then I'm going to buy a levitation spell from this NPC. This is kind of a safety strat.
To what do I owe
You don't have to buy that, but again, safer. Gonna buy a couple summonable weapons from that NPC, and then we're going to teleport to the town of Aldrun. In the town of Aldrun, we are going to set up another glitch. See, if you cast a follow spell twice on an NPC with an escort quest, it actually gets to a part of the script for that escort quest that instantly passes the escort quest. We don't know why that part of the script is there. We think it might be a failsafe, but it's great for speedrunning. You're going to see that glitch in a little bit. So that's that quest turned into Caius. Now we're going to head to the city of Vivek. Because in the city of Vivek, Caius wants us to talk to 3 NPCs and get some information from them. The first NPC we would normally have to escort all the way across these hallways you see here. But because we have the shoes of... Actually, not you. You. There we go. Instapass. No escort quest is needed. Now, this next NPC we need to get some information from is in trouble. They owe us a bit on their taxes. But if we just kill the taxman, then that makes that problem go away. Bye, taxman. Alright, the NPC is down here hiding the sewers from the taxman. We just told him the taxman is not a problem anymore, and you can go on about your merry business. Third NPC is here in the library. They're going to ask us to get a book. The book is right here. Now, NPCs don't like stealing very much, as I talked about earlier, but we are so fast that they can't catch us. So we're just going to talk to this NPC, and then get out of here. No problem. Now, Caius has yet another quest for us, which is, as you may have guessed, getting more information. We have to go back to the town of Aldrun, which we went to earlier, and hopefully I clicked that. Yes, good. Almost went to Saint Denis there. That would have been annoying. Not the first time I've done that during a marathon. Anyway, this is the NPC we need to talk to. He's going to tell us about a group known as the Ashlanders, specifically about their gift-giving customs. And now that we've done that, Caius is finally going to tell us what is going on. See, the Emperor believes that we may be the reincarnation of a war general from thousands of years ago, and if that is the case, we have a very important destiny to fulfill. And so we are now heading out to the Ashlanders that we just got some information about, and they're going to tell us all about our very important destiny to fulfill. Now first they're going to make us fetch an item from this cave, again Bethesda game. Whoops, need to cast it outside, otherwise it's slow. There we go. And then the item we need is a bow that is deep in this cave. Gonna use one of my summonable weapons to kill this wraith. They have the bow. And now we can say hi to the Ashlanders. But before we really say hi to them, there are some formalities we need to observe. Whoops, got stuck there. That happens a lot. That was auto-run. Whoops. All right. Namely, we need to bribe that Ashlander 200 gold, and then we can talk to the Ashcan. Gonna mark here. Tell them we got the bow. They're going to let us keep it, which is rather nice because we needed a whole bunch. Then we are going to talk to the wise woman. What the wise woman said is that we haven't quite fulfilled our destiny yet, but we have the potential to fulfill that destiny. Now, normally we would have a whole series of quests to get to the place we are about to go, but we're speedrunners, so we know exactly where it is. It is that dark spot on the map. Spoilers for a game from 2002, I guess.
In the dawn hour under Azura's star, the door is opened.
Now in here is a ring we need to pick up. That is also a part of our important prophecy. That also sets up basically the rest of the main quest. See, we need to have all 4 of the Ashlander tribes name us Nerevarine, and all 3 of the great houses on the island of Vardenfell in the province of Morrowind, where we are, they need to name us Hortator. So that was a vampire we killed as part of one of the Nerevarine quests. We're going to turn that in now at the Zynab tribe. But we're not quite done with the Zynab. See, the head of the Zynab tribe actually wants us to bring him a bride, which we'll take care of in a little bit. For now, we are going to head on to the Telvanni Hortator quest. Now, in order to be named Hortator of any great house, you need to have every single councillor vote for you to be named Hortator. But if the councillor is dead, then their vote doesn't count. So if we just kill them, that is a whole lot faster than trying to ask for their vote and do all the stuff that they're going to need to do that. This is the Ahamusa Nerevarine, normally a very annoying escort quest, but with our shoes of insta-passing, we can just pass it right away. This is Ursulaku Nerevarine. They already like us, so being named Nerevarine is no problem. Now we're going to head to Aldrune and take care of... Take care of the Redoran Hortator quest. Now, the Redoran Hortator quest is fairly straightforward. One of the councillors has kidnapped the son of one of the other councillors, and so if we rescue that son, then that councillor will like us and garner favor with all the other councillors except the head, and then we will be named Hortator by all councillors except one. This is the only escort quest we cannot skip, unfortunately. It has to do with how this one is scripted. It doesn't have that failsafe in there. Now, I'm really just going to be escorting this NPC back using AI from 2002, so it's not great. This is a very RNG-heavy part of the run. Looks like we're doing great so far. That guard might be trouble. Nope, we're good. All right. The NPC is back home.
I feel as though I should know you.
And now all I have to do is really talk to all the other counselors. So, Jedi Amanda, if you happen to have any donations, now would be a great time to read them.
Oh, we have a couple. First donation from Dark Painted Bruce, $25, and it says, "Good luck. Have fun, David."
How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence!
Uwu.
Beautiful.
The next donation is from Charbunny, $20. "Good luck on the run, musical Daredevil. Excited to see the
3
run."
blessings to you out
Oh,
there.
thanks, Charbunny.
Those of you in chat, please feel free to donate. We got a little bit more time, and we definitely want to raise money for this wonderful program.
Yeah, thanks, Jedi Amanda. So we have now the head of House Redoran. Now, as you might imagine, the head of House Redoran doesn't like me very much and doesn't like the whole Hortator business. So he's going to challenge me to a duel to the death. We'll see how that works out for him later. For now, we're going to head back to the town of Balmora, because Caius has a small little diversion for us. I mentioned earlier the 6th House. The 6th House are basically the main villains of the Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, and defeating them is how you finish the main quest, especially their leader, Dagoth-Ur. Now, Caius and his Blades agents have found a 6th House base, and they want us to take out the 6th House, because they are, kind of mean, they're the villains, we don't like them very much. So we're just going to navigate through this. All I have to do is take out the head, and that's the base taken care of. Alright, now because we are at VGM Con, the Video Game Music and Gaming Convention, normally I would teleport back to Balmora, but I want to do something quick first. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, back to Caius. See, it turns out that the head of the 6th House, or actually the head of that base, cursed us with corpus disease, which is a pretty nasty disease. It slowly disfigures you and eventually kills you. And the problem is, there is no cure for corpus disease. So, I guess we'll just kind of deal with this. And we're going to continue on with the Nerevarine quest. This is the Urbanium Sum Nerevarine. Excuse me. And they are fairly warlike. And they don't really like the Nerevarine prophecy very much. So we're just going to kill off all the heads of this tribe and the warlike people, and then we're going to talk to the wise one and see what she has for us. You and Great lines from this game. So now we're going to talk to the wise woman. The wise woman says that we should probably kill all the warlike people. Then we're going to name someone else as head of this tribe and have them name us Nerevarine instead. Now, they are kind of reluctant to do that, so we have to yell at them a whole bunch. There we go. And then they name us Nerevarine, and we are Nerevarine now. Alright, now let's see if we can go have this whole corpus situation taken care of. See, Caius found out that there is someone who is working on a cure for corpus, but everyone they've given it to has died. But what do we have to lose, really? So we'll just try this out and see what happens. Now, this area is known as Telfir. It is the absolute worst area to navigate in the speedrun.
Yes.
Collision here is absolutely terrible. You're going to see me getting stuck on stuff all the time and switching back and forth between third person. By the way, this is a dwarf, the last living dwarf. If any of you played Skyrim or Oblivion, you know how big of a deal that is. Goodness, what happened? I did not end up where I planned. There we go. All right. That happens sometimes. I was trying to avoid out there. Come on, Telfir. There we go. Okay. Now, we take the cure, and what do you know? It works. On us, the main character of all people. Who would have thought? That, by the way, was Nelith. Ignore what happens in the Dragonborn DLC. Nelith is very much canonically dead. Now, this is Gothrin. You are actually supposed to kill Gothrin as part of the main quest no matter what. The game actually tells you you have to do that. So, Gothrin is now dead. Now, off to the side, if the game will let me out of here, there we go. There is a slave in a cage. And what we're going to tell the slave is that there is someone looking for a bride, and you're it. And she says, okay. Now, we use the shoes of instant escorting to pretend that she is back here now. And we are now Nerevarine of this tribe. Yeah.
We make a special
Anyway,
just for
back
you.
to Balmora,
Say
where
no.
Caius has one final quest for us.
Where would you
You
like
may
to
remember
go?
Mira Milo in the library where we stole the book and then got up before the guards could catch us. Well, she is in jail now, and so we need to go free her.
Why, what?
Before we do that, we are going to take care of the last of the three great houses, that is House Halalu, and their Nerevarine quest. This is the head of House Halalu. He is actually allied with Dagothur in the 6th house, and so we actually have to kill him as part of the main quest. Now that we've done that, all of House Halalu is actually scared of us, and so they're going to name us Hortator no problem. Now we're going to teleport back to Vivek, take care of the Redoran Hortator quest. You may remember the head challenged us to duel to the death. Well, that didn't work out so great for him. There he goes. Now we're on to more of Hlaalu Hortator. This is Yingling Half Troll. He wants us to pay him 1,000 gold, which is kind of a lot, so we're just going to kill him. Now we are on to Councillor Barrow. All we have to do is find him. He's right over here. Ignore out of bounds. He's over here. We have one more Councillor. This one's kind of easy to forget and also hard to find. There we go. Because they're kind of out of the way. And now we can go break Mira Milo out of jail. See, it turns out Mira Milo is actually part of a faction known as the Distant Priests, who have an alternate account of the general we are the reincarnation of. Now, the temple doesn't like this account because it makes them look bad, so they are throwing these Distant Priests in jail. We are now breaking them out of jail, and now we can go meet them at their secret base where they will give us the information we are looking at on the account of the general. Need to make sure it's a certain time, or else this place doesn't open up. There we go.
Welcome, friend. Are you the one I've
All
heard
right, there's the
talk
information
about?
we need. And now we can turn in all of the Hortator quests. We can turn in Tovani Hortator with the last living Councillor
I'm
of
very happy.
House Tovani. She's a bit out of it and hard of hearing, so we are going to talk to her. And she's going to start rambling about things like eggs and spiders and all that stuff. But we are now Hermidor of House Tovani. Now we can turn in House Redoran, because it turns out the head of House Redoran is actually the Councillor whose son we've rescued. So he will name us Hortator, no problem.
Where would you like?
Now we have the last of the three great houses, House Halalu, with a rather interesting character named Crassius Curio. You may have heard he's a bit of a playwright. Wrote a play called The Lusty Argonian Maid, also makes us give him a kiss, and that's all the dealings we need to have with Crassius, thank God. Anyway, now that we've done that, now that we have been named Hortator of all three great houses and Nerevarine of all four Ashlander tribes, we can talk with the false god Vivek, who tells us that it's time to defeat the final boss. He gives us an item called Wraithguard, which makes being the game easier, but we don't really need it.
You can run.
And now we can head to Alderun
Make a
and
special
head back to the
trip
center of
just
the map where we were at the
Say
very
hello.
start of the run and defeat Dagothur in the 6th house and beat the game. Did I go through his in here? I was having some trouble with this door earlier in practice. Looks like it was fine. Oh, I'm out of bounds. Hold on. Gotta remake that mark. I need to make that mark in a certain spot to end the run. Alright, get ready on time.
Fool you are. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? Stop!
That's how you defeat the end boss. And time.
There is no escape.
You no longer bear the burden
Can
of
work at this
prophecy.
place.
You have achieved your
Lay down
destiny.
your weapons.
You are
It is
free.
not too late for my
Wow.
mercy.
That was a really good time. I was not expecting to get that. Oh, thanks. Thanks, audience. I appreciate the support. Now, that being said, I am not done with Morrowind, so you get to watch more of this. Because we have a bonus incentive, and all of you donated very generously. Oh, guess what? Game crashed again.
To mention that we have new incentives.
Oh, that's a great time to mention this while I get this whole situation sorted out. Go ahead with that.
So, audience and those of you watching on Twitch, we have so many new incentives that have been put up for other games. I will read them all during intermission, but if you have time, please take a look at the list.
Yes, all of you keep continuing towards Save the Music Foundation. You donated very generously $200 to see the any % run of The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Now, as I mentioned, we got the 2 items we needed to beat the game, then we veered off, did all the plot stuff, and came back. The any % run is what you do if you don't veer off. You just go straight to the end of the game. Because of that, there are certain things we do not need to do, and this run gets even more bonkers than all main quests does. So we do get to see more G-Up. I was wrong at the beginning. Here's more G-Up.
What's your name?
So that was Dear PB.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go.
So time hasn't started yet. Again, it starts when I get character control. Let's see if I can get guard skip a second time.
Here comes the
I did that during my last marathon,
This
and
is where you
yeah,
get
it's not
Come
easy
with
to
me.
do that when you've got marathon nerves on you. All right. Time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Guard skip a second time. There we go. Nice. All right. Let's see if I can get hatch skip this time. Got it. Nice. That saves like, I don't know, 10th of a second. Anyway, race is exactly the same as last time
But our records don't show from where.
because we need adrenaline rush even more this run than last run.
Great.
One thing you
I'm
might
sure
notice
you'll
is
fit
that
right
game
in.
audio keeps
Follow
going
me up to
when
the
you're on the
office and
pause
they'll
menu,
finish
so I
your
can use
release.
that to very precisely aim my mouse cursor. Now, for this any % run, we don't have to worry about leveling up or speechcraft or anything,
Yes,
so I
we
can actually pick a
expected
pre-made
you.
class, which is a
You'll
lot
have to be
faster.
recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
That class will be Barbarian. All of this is geared towards the jump to
Very
Odorsal
good.
that I need to make.
The letter that preceded, you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
The seed again, let's go fast.
Interesting.
And then once
Now,
again, we
before
are
I
stealing the
stamp these
platter.
papers, make sure this information is correct.
One thing I didn't mention is that, so the game actually doesn't give you any penalty for stealing during character generation because you're new around here. It's actually the only time the game is, like, nice about you being new around there. The rest of the game is pretty hostile to you. People are like, who the heck are you? What are you doing here in Vardenfell, Outlander? Anyway, papers to Celis Gravius. Now, we picked up the ring. However, we are actually not going to give the ring to Fargo because it was discovered that you have just enough gold to do what you need to do with Aril, that you don't have to do that. So just going to pick up the same things I picked up from Aril last time. We get to say hi to Tarheel again. One thing I do want to point out is that the key presses are slightly different because I now have a ring in my inventory. And to get to a lot of spells quickly, I used next spell and previous spell, and the ring is now something I can select. So I do need to be careful about that. Anyway, everyone say hi to Tarheel. Bye, Tarheel. And it's raining in Balmora. That's annoying. The game can crash if it rains in Balmora. It has to do with how often the rain sprite generates. So we might see a game crash, we might not. You can prevent it. Hold on, did that cast? It did not cast. That was weird. Let's see. I think this is safe. So I cast the spell and like nothing happened. That happens sometimes. Anyway. Okay, this is good. Let's go for real this time. Yeah, exactly. Will the game cast my spell? There we go. Nice. Okay. Oh, I got loads this time. You may notice the game fading in and out. That's because I loaded. Alright, so now I can actually parkour my way around Red Mountain. I didn't have to go across the center like I did in all main quests. It is easy to get kind of lost if you do this, but I'm on track. Here's Veminal. I made it. That's the most nerve-wracking part of the run. Just going to jump here, get back in bounds. There we go. Going to phase through the door there. Here is Dagoth Vemin. He's got Sunders, you may remember. Now they've got that. I'm actually going to head out to the town of Alderun, because it was discovered that it's actually faster to do this and then go back into Red Mountain than it is to try and get out of Veminal, because Veminal is really hard to navigate. I have lost PBs to Veminal. There we go. Door again. And now we defeat Dagoth Ur, same as before. Once with Sunder, 5 times with Keening. Whoops. Okay. Come on. Door. Door. This door is trouble too. Doors are like the worst when you're speedrunning this game. Doors and candles, because of all this physics. There we go. Okay. Time is coming up. It will take me a bit longer because I can't get back out the same way. There we go. I'll call it though. And time.
You no longer bear the burden of prophecy. You have achieved your
So if I do that fast enough, you actually
are
get to listen
free.
to 3 different audio bits at the same time. It gets really, really chaotic. It's kind of funny.
The tribunal.
Anyway, that was the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, all main quests, and any percent. Thank you all very much for watching, for supporting, for coming here. Thank you, of course, to our host, Jedi Amanda. A couple shoutouts. A big shoutout to Volvulus, who did a lot of the routing for any percent and all main quests, and has also been a mentor to me throughout this whole process of me learning and optimizing all main quests and getting good at that. We also have Mosquito Alchemist, who did a lot of the initial routing for all main quests. There's my character with the spear. Then lastly, I would like to give a shout out to the Washington Metropolitan Gamers Symphony Orchestra. We are actually not done here at VGMCon. This is the last bit for me at Midwest Speedfest, but at 12:15 p.m. Central tomorrow, Jedi Amanda and I will be live on the boss stage downstairs, performing a 55-minute set for all of you with some video game music, as well as 3 other people who are all also amazing. So if you liked what you saw here, there is more coming. You can watch that live at twitch.tv/WMGSO. But in the meantime, we got plenty more speedruns for all of you, so stick around, and Jedi Amanda, back to you.
Thank you so much, Musical Daredevil. That was a very fun run, and congrats on the time.